All right, welcome to Prop 5 on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at Ethan J. Skolnick at 5 Reasons Sports. I got Eric. I got Major. We've got the code 5. Go to prizepicks.com. Use it. Put down $5. You'll get $50 to play right away. That's the promotional deal that they have there. Again, put down 5. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E. Get $50 to play right away. No strings attached to that. And if you are subscribed there with the code 5, and you also subscribe to our friends Big Picks Energy, who help you make the plays along with us, our guy Caesar, then we're going to have a contest on Sunday. So whoever makes the most money Sunday playing the big game, we're giving you an additional $59 for Super Bowl 59. So you can basically, however much you make 100, make 200, we're going to add $59 to it. So it's a little bit of tip on top. So make sure that you play it. All right, this is going to be a running backs episode. Make sure you check out the episode that Caesar, David, and I did on the quarterbacks. We're going to keep these up all week. We'll do wide receivers and tight ends tomorrow, defense and special teams, and then we're going to do one episode where as many people as we have in the network are going to come and bring one pick, and that's what we're going to do later in the week. So let's get to the backs. Let's start on the Philadelphia side. Arguably the key to victory in this game for Philly, the player they did not have in the last big game against the Chiefs, is Saquon Barkley. So the number is 114.5, Major. That's the primary number. Now, you could play this a couple different ways. You can go goblin at 89.5, 99.5, 79.5. Again, you're going to get less money back for all of those. Or 124.5 for the demon, 129.5, 139.5, 149.5, 159.5. But let's just go to the 114.5. But you can't play these on other games, okay, where it's this many options. Let's just go to the 114.5. Over or under?
I mean, I gotta go under. He's gonna go over. I feel like I gotta go under. There's no way. I refuse to believe he's gonna keep hitting this in the playoffs.
I mean, he's hit it. How many? Look, 5 straight. Yeah, 5 straight. I mean, look, the Chiefs' defensive line is really good. We know that. They're going to put pressure on the quarterback, which is why I think Philly has to run him. He's had one run over 25 yards, I think, in like 6 straight games. So he always pops one.
Yeah.
You keep him under 114.5.
I think as long as they don't give him, that like every game he gets that 50-yard run. As long as they don't do that, he's going under. I think the Chiefs, something about that team. I'm not saying the refs or anything, but like something about that team, they play their best when everyone's watching. I think that's going to happen. I don't have much faith in Philly, to be honest, as a team.
Okay, Eric?
I kind of feel the opposite way. I think Saquon Barkley, postseason and regular season, is in the midst of the greatest season by a running back we've ever seen.
It's true.
And I think that continues for him. I think he completes the full Terrell Davis on Sunday.
I'm with you on this. I'm going to go with Eric. Not that, fading Major, you can't make as much money doing that as you used to, but I'm going to go over on Saquon on the 114.5. In fact, I'm going to push it up a little bit, try to earn a little bit more. I'm going to go up to the 124.5. 129.5, we start to get a little rich for my blood, but I'm going to go over the 124.5. I just don't see a path to victory for them unless he runs the rock a lot. That's just where I see it. And I think this is the difference between this game and the last time, is they have a guy who can legitimately break one. They had okay running backs the last time around, Sanders and such. That nothing like this. So I'm going to go over. But let's look at some of his other numbers here. Major, can I entice you on any of these? Let's do this, okay? 13.5 receiving yards. They haven't really used him that way a lot. You fading that one?
Yeah, that one is like the one that stuck out to me the most that you got to go under.
Okay. All right. 2 receptions. You fading that one?
That one's we're getting closer.
Okay. Well, there's others like fantasy scores 20 kind of combines at 130.5 rushing receiving yards. Again, I'd probably play that over. 22 rush attempts. Can I get you to like that one? He's been over that in 5 out of 6. He only had 15 against Washington, but they didn't need it.
That's the one that I was debating going over on. I think they know they have to keep the ball.
Okay.
Don't give it to Mahomes. Best way to do that, give it to Barkley.
Okay. And then Eric, so I'll go to you on this. 5.2 rushing yards per carry. Unlike our podcast, 3 yards per carry. Which is
now this is one that I don't know how to feel about, because there's just so much that can happen that can ruin something like that. I would probably stay away from it. Although with Saquon, if he hits on that 160 yarder, it's a guaranteed over.
Right. I would play that. I would not play that one over. I feel like a little bit more volume in this game. I think he gets, like I said, to the 124.5. 5.2 is a lot. I mean, that's a lot, right? You can see he's been rushing yards in the first 5. Look at the rushing yards in the first 5 attempts. 72. Wow. 72 in 2 straight games. Major, he's going to go over that number in 5 carries, like that rushing yard number.
I think he went under his prop last game, though. It was just higher.
Yeah,
I think it was like 124.5 or something.
It was just higher. I'm with you. All right, let's go. Do they have another back on the board? I don't know. They don't. They don't even have another back on the board. So as of the moment, it's just Barkley. All right, so let's switch over to the other side. Eric, I'll let you start on this one. Again, this guy's emerged a little bit as the season has gone on. Kareem Hunt. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here as we go forward. I'm sorry, I'm digging them up right now. We got Pacheco too, but we're going to look at, is Hunt even on? Yeah, there he is. Okay. 45.5 rushing yards. This is one of the most popular props, by the way. 36,000 people have already played this one. He's been over 2 of the last 5 on this one. You can also play this down to 29.5, 39.5. You can play it up to 59.5, 69.5, even 79.5. I'm not going that high. Would you play Hunt over on the primary play here, which is 45.5?
I actually think that I would with Kareem Hunt. Obviously, the goal with the Chiefs is to kind of not let Patrick Mahomes be the one to beat you. This is going to be an Eagles defense that is going to be predicated on trying to stop the big play. And the Chiefs have been more than happy to just go on 12, 15 play drives. And I think that that'll probably continue. Kareem Hunt's going to continue to be a big part of that. So I think over 45.5 is a pretty safe bet for him.
My favorite Kareem Hunt play here is 11.5 yards longest rush.
That was mine.
Okay, so 12 in each of the last 2 games. He had a 20 4 games ago, a 12 the game. He doesn't break 50 yarders, but he particularly as they start to run things down when they get a lead late, he tends to get one that he breaks to move the chain. So I would go over on that one. Longest reception, 6.5 yards. I kind of like that one too. Major, what would you play with Hunt, if anything, before we get to Pacheco?
Since you stole my 11.5 longest rush over,
okay.
Another one at 11.5 is also rush attempts. I think kind of similar to what we've been talking about. I think there's going to be a lot of running in this game. Don't let Patrick Mahomes beat you. I wish there was like a Kareem Hunt, like how many defenders trucked, because I don't care what that number was. I would take it. That man just like runs over anyone he sees.
Let's go to Pacheco, Eric. So let's go to his numbers. He's only at 22.5 rushing yards. This was their lead back, 22.5 rushing yards, but he has gone over that in 3 straight. 12 against Buffalo, 18 against Houston, 18 against Pittsburgh. A couple of good run defenses in there, but again, they've leaned more into Hunt of late. 2-week break. Pacheco is healthier now than he was before. He's a hard runner also. Could you see him going over the 22.5? A lot of people seem to like this one.
You know, I probably could see him going over 22.5, and I know that might seem a little oxymoronic considering that I'm going over on Kareem Hunt as well. But I think you're looking at a situation where both Chiefs running backs, I think, have a chance to be pretty productive in this ball game. And with Isaiah Pacheco, it could be a situation where they've just kind of kept him under wraps because Hunt has been good enough to succeed with. And I think they might kind of really let him loose on Sunday.
My favorite Pacheco play in this game, it's a goblin play, so you're not going to get as much for it. Half a reception. He had 2 in the last game. I could see them featuring him on certain drives. And again, Mahomes in trouble, dump off, you get your play. I mean, right there. Major, anything you like here? I think 4.5 receiving yards too. If you want to play it a little bit up, you're taking a bit of a chance there. But there's no goblin related to it. 28.5 rushing and receiving yards is one for him. 1.5 receiving targets. 7.5 yards longest rush. Anything you like for Pacheco, Major?
If I was to play one, I personally, I've got PTSD from playing Pacheco, and I was going to take his under on yards if I was forced to take one. But his longest rush of 7.5 is pretty good if you're looking to play it over. I do want to point out, though, it's kind of funny. His longest reception's 4.5 yards, and his receiving yards is 4.5. So don't play longest reception. Is basically what
right. That's a good point. Yeah, right. What would be the purpose of that? Oh, let's see, Major, this is what we got you here for. All right, so that's some of the plays that we like in the running back space. Check out our plays on quarterbacks as well. One thing I should have mentioned, you can pair anything on the Philadelphia side if you're doing a 2-player play with a half a passing yard for Mahomes. Now, but you can only play that half a passing yard up to $10. So that's it. So that's why we did the whole episode talking about Mahomes' overall passing yards, because obviously he's going to go over the half a passing yard, but you can only play that up to $10. All right, tomorrow we're going to get into the tight ends. And obviously there's a little more interest in that one because you got a couple of pretty good ones in this game, and the receivers as well. So we'll touch on all of that, and then we'll get into the special teams, the kickers, all the sort of miscellaneous plays, and then everybody's got to bring one play prior to the game. So 5 episodes in total. This is number 2. We appreciate you. Again, use the code 5, F-I-V-E, at Prize Picks. Use the code 5 at Big Picks Energy. Also, you can get the free trial there at Prize Picks. You get $50, and then you'll be eligible to win 59 additional promo funds for us after Sunday's game. Have a good one, everybody. Also, check out a couple of things. Eric's new story about the Marlins, 2025 Marlins. Who are they? Good, because I don't know. Also, and Major, obviously Major Money. Check out his work there. And a new episode of The Force actually is up as well, right? Is that correct? So, so make sure you check that out. We may be putting that on the 5 Reasons feed, the 5 on the Floor feed, when this Jimmy Butler situation resolves. So basically in 2 years. Have a good one, everybody.